With that being said, the coup de grace, the game of the year, the one that we've been tiptoeing around all
We
fucking
should have started
night.
with this.
We should have, but I think it would have just took up the whole show.
What, to talk about Baldur's Gate 3?
Baldur's Gate 3,
No,
yes.
not really. It's got here we go.
This is the reason why we should have started with this is because there's nothing else to say about
It's
it.
obvious. Yeah.
I agree, but I disagree
But it's
because
fine.
we've already been going off about it because of what it's done in a year with absolute solid standouts for Game of the Year, for other games that have just done a fantastic job in their own genres. This is every month we've looked at releases and been like, what the fuck is this year? Yet the single standout without any competition has been Baldur's Gate 3, and I think that is an absolute testament to the job that Larian Studios has done with this game. Everything that has been going on with this game, I think it's an absolute testament of how good this game actually is when you consider all of those things of what has happened this year and the fact that they've just stood out as a single in this great year in gaming. I think this is probably the best year in gaming. I mean, compare it to what's considered the greatest year in gaming, 1998, right?
Yeah.
How is this year any lesser than that with a single standout also as Baldur's Gate 3? You know?
That's a little bit.
Depends.
That's a little
That's debatable. We can always go into it.
I think,
but
I think we need a year or two to look back and just for sure, right?
I've had a
But
few
like,
years
it
that were
definitely,
like unbeatable.
yeah, it definitely felt that way. I mean, 2015, right? What was it? 2015,
Was it
2015,
2020, it was like 20, one of
2018.
those 2018, 2017.
It
It
was
was just
right-
like,
yeah,
Whatever
it
year
was-
Sekiro got Game of the Year.
it was supposed to be.
Sekiro drop, Devil May Cry drop, Kingdom Hearts
Yeah.
drop, something
One-
else.
Yeah,
One-
yeah. It was the year RE2, Devil May Cry.
One of
that
those years
Yeah.
was 1998 Part 2 because it was just like, wow, this is crazy based on the names that released that year. But then when it like at the end of the year looking back, it was just like, nah, it's not 1998, you know. And it's hard because 1998 is probably the greatest year.
Nah,
in
98. No, 98.
98 fucking bangs.
98
That just
was actually
slaps.
crazy,
No disrespect to 1998, but I think this year was absolute fucking madhouse.
No, it was because I remember like I was getting mad about playing new games. We were actually mad about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like another one? I gotta play
Yep.
another one. Like luckily I have a full-time job and all this and all that to be able to do that. But imagine if you're a kid who could only afford one game a year. Oh man, this year sucks for you.
At some point at the end of August, early September, we asked the year to stop.
Yeah, right? Like,
We did.
I
think
was
right
so
one day we're like, oh,
annoyed.
Starfield is out. All right, stop. Just stop the year, please, right now. Little did we know.
Well, I'm
Anyway.
glad I didn't like Starfield because that's like hundreds of hours that I didn't have to waste.
I agree.
Yeah.
Instead, we can waste them more in Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate, which is actually worth your time, by the way.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's so many reasons. Just try out this game, man. If you like any sort of fantasy, try it out. And then if you have friends, try it out with friends. It's a totally different experience than playing it solo. Every time you replay this game, you're gonna have a new experience. Well, it's gonna be different from when Despair played the game, from when I played the game solo with different people, as opposed to like us
That's
three
the
doing
coolest
our
shit.
personal thing.
Yeah, this
It's
is
just like
easily a 300-hour game, potentially a 500-hour game if you enjoy it that much. Like you can experience everything different in playing this game for 500 hours, right? Like it's apparently like how long to beat has it listed as 120 hours for completion. But I guarantee you can put
I'm way
another
past that.
120 hours into that game and you could experience a completely different playthrough to completion than you did the first time. And then you
I
can
just bought
do
that
it
game on PS5
again.
for literally no reason.
Yeah, you can do it again and have the same thing. There's so many options, so many branches, so many ways, so many methods, so many, like, creativity has no bounds in this game. And it's just a testament that
They're still dropping
makes
new
it pain to do
content,
that.
by the way.
Yeah.
See, the weirdest part about this game for me is that it already has what I want from an RPG, right? Like the characters are dope, right? The mechanics are cool. The graphics aren't the best, but they're good enough, right? The music is good. That's all I need from an RPG. But the fact that you have all this extra shit, like the openness of the combat, the dialogue, and all that shit, the amount of like replayability this game has, I didn't need all that shit. But for some reason, like they just knew, like there's literally, like, it's like they have like a person that just came into the office and just pitched an idea, and they just ran with it every time. They were like, "You got an idea? All right, cool, we'll add that." "Oh, you got an idea? All right, cool, we'll add that too." Like they just have. It's like this. Then again, that is the benefit of being in early access, right?
Yes.
You can just take a bunch of feedback over and over and over again, and then just make the perfect fucking game.
Early access is not a bad thing. I want that stigma to be out of the gaming industry. Releasing in early access is not a bad thing. This game released in early access, and it was on my radar because of Baldur's Gate.
The weirdest part about that stigma is that it's not even like there's no like precedent that made early access games. Yeah, we had like Kickstarter and shit like that, but early access games, right? Being bad. It's just that perception, this dumbass perception that people have of, oh, it's early access. Oh, it's not $70. Oh,
it's not released.
It's not worth my time. It's not AAA.
Yeah, exactly.
Trash. Like remember back when indie games and $20 games and shit like that would come out. It's not $70. Probably trash.
Let it be known. Hey, if a game drops in early access and if it's not up your alley, maybe you don't want to invest in it at that time. That's why it's in early access. That's the whole caveat.
If it's not up your alley
early access
at that time.
Exactly. When it drops and it releases, because that's the thing with Baldur's Gate, right? Like Baldur's Gate, essentially, like you said, is an RPG at its core, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not an RPG fan, you may not like this game. When it dropped in early access, and that's the thing, they've worked on it where now it's such a fantastic game that even if you're not an RPG fan, you could probably play this game and have such immense enjoyment out of it. I'll tell you, the moment this game was Game of the Year for me, full disclosure, we started a party, me, Despair, Fala, and we had a campaign going, and we went to fight this hag in her cave. And this bitch split herself into multiple clones, and we had no idea which one she
were like, damn,
was.
We're fucked.
We thought we were cooked immediately.
Oh, she was hitting hard too, by the way.
We were super underleveled. We had no idea what the fuck was going on.
And not ready.
Not ready. We were cooked. We were already considering reloading and save scumming. I shoved the bitch into a hole. She died. I picked the right clone. Everyone said, what the fuck just happened? I said, you know what? This is my Game of the Year. That was godlike.
Yeah, it's moments like that make the game. It's like, wait a minute, I can do that? Oh, shit. It's like they thought of every single thing of people that, like, they thought of every single thing that the people that play would think of doing, and they made it possible in the game. Which, like, that's ridiculous.
That's so crazy to me. Yeah.
They thought, okay, this guy's probably gonna light this guy on fire. So let's make it possible. Oh, this guy's probably gonna not want to fight and talk his way out of the situation. Let's make that possible.
There was a circulating tweet. Yeah. There's a circulating tweet where there's a female streamer that she's saying like, hey, I played Baldur's Gate 3, and here's how I did this mission. And then here's how everyone else that I know did this mission, or that I watched did this mission. And she goes on to list how many people have listed a mission in Act 1. And the list could continue though. She lists a bunch of things, but there's so many other things that can also be done. And that's just
so many different
one
interactions based
major
off of
mission within
a lot of
the
that
game.
Shit is based off just simple as what race you picked in the beginning of the fucking game.
Yes.
Like, what the hell, man?
Yes, there's
like,
the more we talk about it, the more I fall in love with this game, though.
Yeah, the game is crazy.
This game is phenomenal. There's no other word for it.
Yeah, phenomenal. Like, for real. Like, what else can you say? What else can you fucking say, bro? Like,
and that's
Elden Ring and Baldur's Gate 3 are my favorite games of the past probably 10 years. For me, like
you know,
I don't understand. Like, I said this last year, I was like, I don't understand what's gonna beat this game, but I'm gonna say it again. I don't know what's gonna beat this game either. Like, what the fuck is beating? What's beating Elden Ring in this shit? What's gonna happen? Something drastic has to happen next year. Like, and I don't know what that could be.
Hope 2024 has high
Hopefully
potential.
something launches on the Switch too, right?
Yeah,
Hopefully we
got
finally
a
get
lot of
Metroid Prime
potential
4 and it's phenomenal.
We got a lot of potential for 2024. With that being said, I think we can wrap up the discussion on Baldur's Gate 3 potentially, because I feel like that there's something here as far as
I didn't
content
get to argue with
wise.
anybody tonight. Fuck.
I mean,
What, are
you
We were
could argue
very
with-
civil today.
we were, because
I mean,
you know, listen.
Except for the voice acting thing, but
full
we can't talk about
disclosure.
that right now.
Full disclosure, we are a bunch of like-minded individuals, but we also have our differences.
Very opinionated. We're
Yeah,
all very.
But we also
opinionated,
the
so-
problem that we don't have arguments. We don't have arguments amongst each other. Mostly because that we can respect and understand subjectivity and objectivity, and we understand the difference between
When people
each.
stop having rocks for fucking brains and wanting to argue for the sake of arguing, we end up realizing that we're fucking agreeing in the end anyway.
Yeah,
But whatever. That's the topic
that's
for
true.
another fucking day.
And another topic
usually
for
just
another
agreeing
day.
anyway.
I would love to, and what we may potentially do is look at the Game Awards winners for the past 10 years and then compare and contrast those.
Bro, we can't
Ooh.
do that because one of those years Madden got Game of the Year.
Ooh, we could do that
I'm
because that's
pretty
dead
sure-
last.
I'm pretty sure that was like one of the earliest Game of the Year fucking winners, like fucking 2008
Yeah,
or
that-
something.
that
2009,
shit-
I don't remember.
That's when that shit was on Spike TV.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. That was so stupid. I couldn't believe it.
But with that being said, before we end, are there any final thoughts or anything that you
Yeah.
guys want to go off on? Notable games or
I-
anything?
I kind of want to mention like notable mentions because there are some games. There are a lot of other games that I played this year that like, you know what I mean.
You
Like,
know what?
they don't really belong on this list, but like
Yeah.
I played this year and I enjoyed. So I just want to list them all real quick. I don't have to do a big discussion. Ghost Trick was definitely one I really enjoyed, even though it wasn't a game that was, made this year. It was actually like a DS game that was remade to PC. I never played the game before. It has an incredible fucking story. It was so unique. I enjoyed every time, my time with it. So definitely, if you're into detective, try out Ghost Trick. AEW Fight Forever. It was basically why I like this game so much is that it's basically the modern generation No Mercy, and that's exactly what I wanted from this game. It's not a game I play every day or anything like that, but it's just like every couple of months or whatever I get with the boys. This is exactly what I wanted. So it gave me everything I wanted. It was cool, and I get to go back every few months and just relive that nostalgia, right? Master Detective Archives. I really enjoyed that game.
Yeah. Can I get
hated it?
Danganronpa 4, please?
Yeah, he wants Danganronpa. He's a huge Danganronpa fan. But I enjoyed the game for what it was. I enjoyed I just like doing
That studio is just different.
Yeah. Octopath Traveler 2.
Yes. I forgot about it.
Yep. The music in that game is god tier.
I don't want to
God
say
tier.
the game. I'm not gonna say it, but
No,
y'all know what it is. That one game, that one redacted game. I just Hogwarts Legacy, bro. Like,
Say it. Just say it. Let's go over
it's a
it.
shame. It's a shame, like what's behind the game, right? Because the game is good, but it's such a fucking shame, dude. Because I have a strange feeling that would have been one of the Game of the Year nominees if it wasn't so like, if the story behind it wasn't such fucking bullshit, right? But it is what it is. Don't be a piece of shit, and that's what happened. Anyway, moving on.
Hey, but anyway, that game sold way more than most of the games this year.
Of course it did, right? Just because of the name alone.
Whatever. Let's just put. We're not gonna have that discussion right now.
Yeah,
but
game was great. Just unfortunate, but
yeah. Another game, RoboCop, the video game. Really,
still gonna
loved
play that.
it.
Dude, that demo
it
was
hit-
phenomenal. That shit was great.
Yo, I played the whole game, and I'm gonna tell you guys how to play that game if you love RoboCop. So you play the game because the one downplay of that game is some areas of the game there's no music. So here's what you need to do. You just need to have the game, and then you have the RoboCop soundtrack on the side. And whenever you're walking around doing a bunch of RoboCop shit, you play that theme, and it just gave me everything that I wanted. I could have played that game for 1 hour. I could have played that game for a half hour, and I've been like, yep, that is $60 well spent. Like, it gave me exactly, because some games don't have to go above and beyond. They just need to like give me what I want out of a game, out of a RoboCop game. As in a RoboCop game, I want to walk around, be RoboCop with the slow walking speed, toss motherfuckers and shoot them in the dick. And in this game, you can do all of that. So like,
makes sense.
It delivered on that sense, and for that, I really enjoyed RoboCop. And you haven't played it, and you're a huge fan of RoboCop, the original RoboCop. Yeah, you fucking up. I don't know what to tell you.
Lies of P, bro.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. Go
Lies
off,
of
King.
P, bro. I haven't finished the game yet, but I will say it's very rare that, I said it earlier, like there are a lot of games that try to be something else, and in the effort of trying to be something else, they kind of like forget like the soul of what made that game great, right? So obviously this game is clearly inspired by Bloodborne, right? And everybody that knows me knows that's probably one of my favorite games of all time, period. It's definitely, I wouldn't say it's in my top 5. It's definitely in my top 5, right? It's probably interchangeable with Elden Ring at this point, but Bloodborne was my first baby, right? For Elden Ring. So the fact that that game even comes close is a testament to how godlike it is. And the fact that it's the fact that it's so well, the fact that they already announced they're making the sequel, they're doing DLC, all that. I'm very proud of that game. The same way I'm proud of like Baldur's Gate 3 for just rising up under the fucking dirt, up from the dirt. You know what I mean? Like, I'm very proud of a lot of the games that came out this year because it's stuff that I didn't really expect. Like, I've been hyped for Lies of P for at least like 2 years. And usually what happens with Souls-like games, they come out and they're like average at best. They never live up to that feeling you get from a Souls game when they actually do come out, right? Nothing ever really lives up to that shit. Lies of P is phenomenal, bro. Like, people have complaints about how hard it is because, there's no dodging is harder because there's less iframes, blah blah blah, whatever your take is. You can't take away the fact that the game actually does what it set out to do, which is be a successor to Bloodborne. It feels like Bloodborne. The atmosphere is great. The fucking game looks fucking beautiful. The music is great. Like, highly recommend. That game was dope, and I need to finish it. Yeah, I've been holding it. Like, it's so special to me that I've literally just been holding because I don't want to play it until I could put my full energy into it, right? Like, I don't want to be distracted when I play through that game. The same way when I played Elden Ring, I literally just forgot about everything. I forgot about Final Fantasy for like a good 2 months. I forgot about I forgot about y'all. I wasn't even in the Discord chat. I was gone. Like, at most, I would pop up in Freak's chat in his stream, and that was about it. That's because he was playing Elden Ring. Like, when that shit dropped, I was gone. So I want that same energy when I play Lies of P. I want to just take like a vacation from life and just play through that game.
I think people need to do that more often, to be honest.
Yeah.
Enjoy your games.
I got 3 other games here. RE4 for obvious reasons. I don't think I need to fucking go into it much. Phenomenal. Resident Evil's great. Big fan of it. Cool. Metro Prime Remake or Metro Prime Remaster. I'm sorry.
Oh,
that was another game that dropped this year. Obviously, I'm not a huge fan of the Metro Prime, but even comparing it to the original version, they were very faithful. They did a whole bunch of quality of life changes to it. So if you love the original, you'll like the remastered version. They did a great job. It's a great port. Go play it if you're into all that. And then the last one that I had on my list was probably Super Mario RPG. Now for this one, for me, I don't love it. I don't love it as much as other people do, just because I felt like the game in general is a bit outdated in comparison to other RPGs. I mean, I'm comparing this fucking Baldur's Gate, right? Like,
you can't really compare 20.
You can't. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. But it does, like, if you were nostalgic, like, for example, it's probably one of my first RPGs, right, ever. So if you replay that game, it's just a good thing to go back through memory lane. It doesn't do anything too mind blowing.
The personality of that game alone makes it worth the play, in my opinion.
Yeah. It's worth to play. The battle system is very similar to like Sea of Stars, if you like that thing. That's where like Sea of Stars got the gameplay from, part of it anyway. And yeah, it's just solid. It's a solid, simple story. It's very quick. It's a very quick RPG. You could probably beat it in like 8 hours, 10 hours, but that doesn't take away from it being like a very nice, chill story, especially if you love the Mario universe. A lot of the lore comes from that game. So you know, there you go. And yeah, it was just a good, solid game. You know, like I have no complaints.
All right, I think to close things out, I'm going to go through a couple of games that I wanted to mention. Honorable mentions. Just sneaking in this year, God of War Valhalla DLC for free, by the way.
Hold on 1 second. I don't know how I forgot about FF16, but I had to do it.
Cyberpunk?
Like, I don't know how I forgot about FF16, you know, but it's because I literally just like zoned out and beat that game in like a week. So I forgot about it. That game was fucking amazing. Like, moving on. That's it. That's all I have to say. That game, I'm surprised it wasn't on the Game of the Year nominee. Something told me it wouldn't be. Like, compared to all the other games.
It wasn't the best RPG.
Yeah, it was.
And for some reason, it didn't make itself into the Game of the Year. And honestly, I think that's a mistake. I think it's hard. It's hard, right? There was a lot of stacked
This year was really hard, and that's why I said earlier, like before we watched it, I was like, I don't think FF16 is going to be a nominee, and I was right because I had to kind of compare it to what else we got this year, and it was great, but it could have been better. But it was fucking phenomenal. The music in that game alone is fucking ridiculous. The boss fights in that game alone, whatever.
Well, I mean, I think it wins. It won best OST, right?
It better win best. Yeah, it definitely won best OST. Nothing came close. Like nothing came close to that shit.
People don't understand. People don't understand. Soken is out of his mind.
Yeah, that motherfucker that's the GOAT.
Like that will win. Like as long if the next Final Fantasy game has Soken as the composer, guess what? What's winning OST of the year is anything that's composed by Soken. He's out of his mind. He's absolutely outrageously talented. This man puts everything into his work as far as OST goes. I think it's hard to compare. But yeah, as far as honorable mentions go, super highly underlooked game. It's like that's the thing. That's a testament of the games that came out this year. That Final Fantasy 16 is a game that just missed being nominated for the Game of the Year awards, and it was in Best RPG. And the only reason that it didn't win is because Baldur's Gate was such a force, and it was an RPG, right? That being said, I've only played like 3 hours of Final Fantasy 16 and I am completely enamored with it, and I can't wait to play more. God of War Valhalla, that DLC just dropped, just made it in this year, and it's one of those things that's going to go underlooked as being one of the best content releases this year. They dropped it's like what, 4 to 8 hours of just DLC that you can play through, and for free, extended. It's like a whole new game. Honestly, if you think about it, it's a roguelike that they just released into their full-fledged single-player RPG game that they've dropped. It's fantastic. I'll tell you what, Dead Space Remake also dropped this year. That game was fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
Now you can't hear us. Like,
yeah, there you go. My bad. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. Accident.
Better cut that one out.
It must have got deafened or something. I don't know.
Well, better.
It must have been when I was typing.
Well, whatever game you enjoyed, I'm glad you enjoyed it because I didn't hear it.
No, I was talking about Final Fantasy 16 and how enamored I was with the process, and then I brought up. Ultimately, I brought up God of War Valhalla and how great it was, and that it was free and that it just squeezed in this year. And now we're talking about Dead Space Remake that they just, that was really early entry this year. That was also good. Like, yes, it's a remake. It's kind of mostly one-to-one, but they've made a lot of substantial changes that actually made the original process even better.
I still
and
need to play that. Damn.
And looking at it, I think that's it for me, to be
Download
honest.
that right now.
Yeah, I mean,
It's-
the only other game that I really want to finish this year, if I have the time, which I don't, Cyberpunk, the Cyberpunk DLC. I haven't even.
Oh my god,
That's
you're right.
another thing I'm gonna wait until I can actually give it my full.
Yeah, same.
You know what I want
It's
to
like-
play Cyberpunk? I want to replay Cyberpunk, but you know what I want for it? I want like a 50-80.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, bro.
I want to give this
Not
game
wrong.
love, right? Like, I want to make love to Cyberpunk, right? Like, it's like,
That's like Dragon's Dogma 2 coming out in March.
Oh
and the
my
new
God.
GPUs is supposed to fucking come out
Well,
in January.
very
I'm
quickly,
like, yo, I
let's
might cop a super just to play that game.
before we end tonight,
Depending on how it runs.
let's talk about most anticipated titles of next year. To be honest, like, this is a
Episode
fatty
remake.
episode already. Let's
That's it.
fucking
See
go.
ya.
Let's start. You say that, but you just brought up Dragon's Dogma 2. What's up?
Yeah, but FM7, that's not the same. It's not even in the same league. Like Dragon's Dogma 2, yeah, I'm hype as fuck for that game because I like the first game. But FF7 remake, like, come on, bro. Like, hello. For me, like nothing could come out for the rest of next year, and I'll be straight.
Well,
Like, I'm good.
it's kind of hard for me because like a lot of the games that I want to play next year are PS5 exclusives. So I probably won't be able to play into the year after.
Wait, Tekken doesn't count because that's literally like in 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
3 weeks, yeah.
But for me, maybe that is.
Oh,
That's definitely one of them.
Oh, no. You know what? No. It does count. You want to know why? Because I had to put the Apollo Attorney fucking the collection.
True. I forgot that's just fucking month, dude.
Yep. So there's that. I want to play Stutter Blade whenever that launches.
Yeah.
I want to play that Journey to the West game. Obviously, Final Fantasy VII Remake.
I want to play Princess Peach Showtime, bro. That's
Yep,
what I
Princess
play.
Peach Showtime. Yep,
Like,
I want to play that. But like a good majority of these games, I'm probably not even going to be able to play until the year after. So I'm just kind of keeping my eyes open on like what's actually being released on PC next year versus being cucked for the year after. But maybe I get to play Final Fantasy 16 next year. We'll see.
Maybe we can play Prince of Persia, and maybe it'll be great. That Prince of Persia game
it
is
looks
supposed
cool.
to come out,
Oh yeah, Prince of Persia looks cool. Yeah.
you know.
I think the most actually now that I think about it, that Black Myth Wukong game, bro. If it's anything, if it's as good as it looks, then that's
I hope.
probably it. But I'll say FF7 because the first one didn't let me down, right? Like there's precedent to it. Like I already know the first one was good, so all they have to do is make this one better, right? So this one has more of a chance of being good than a game from a developer we've never seen before. The game, like, I don't know, the game looks great. I hope it's as good as it looks, man.
You're just paranoid.
Yeah, I am. I very much am, yeah.
We have good reason. We all have good reason, right?
Like
I mean, because there
gotta
was a
think
bunch of
about
games that look good this year that weren't good.
Black
you
Myth
know?
Wukong
Yeah,
and Stellar
you know?
Blade, I need both of those games to be great. Period. Like, I need. Is Stellar Blade a Chinese dev or a Korean dev?
It's I think it might be one of it's
I don't know.
definitely one of the
I don't
two.
know,
I think
but
it's leaning
because
toward
I'm-
Chinese.
I'm
dev.
ready.
I need
ready.
like, if this is what we can expect from Chinese devs, though, then shit, like this
But
shit might get crazy. It's a
Listen.
Korean studio. Okay, that's cool.
They show a lot of gameplay that looks fantastic, but you know, like you said, it's like when it
I keep
releases,
forgetting the name.
give
forgetting the name
it
of the
to
game.
us then.
Lost Soul Aside is another game
Oh,
that
yeah,
looks
I've heard
great,
that.
but we have not. It never comes out.
Oh,
Like-
isn't there a I'm forgetting the name of it, but isn't there a Black Desert dev game that's coming out, like a sequel to Black, something like that, like
Crimson.
yeah. That's not out yet, right? Like that's coming
Nah.
out in 2024.
I think it's Crimson Desert.
And it looks, I think that's what it is. I think it's Crimson Desert. I think and it looks absolutely crazy as far as MMO players are concerned. But it's like,
I
again,
don't think it's an MMO.
are we gonna see it? Yeah, exactly. Are we gonna see it? Right?
Probably,
What does
I
that
think
look like?
I think they said the end of next year. That is when that game comes out. But the thing is, I have more faith in that. Let me not say faith. It makes more sense for that game to be at least decent because the combat in Black Desert is fucking ridiculous. So if anything, it's gonna be a fun game. Like, will it be amazing? Who knows? But they have the formula. Black Desert is that combat is insane. Like, that game it's fun as hell to play, but you know, and it has other problems. But
Yeah.
I just need that confirmation that these Chinese devs are here to stay. I need that Black Myth Wukong game to just be godlike and just set a trend, because we don't have a lot of Chinese like developed games.
Yep. We also optimistically have Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League.
Okay, anyway,
continuing,
moving
hold on. Helldivers 2 also
yeah.
could potentially be a good game. Mario versus Donkey Kong.
Oh yeah,
We're
Oh
looking at that.
yeah. I'm definitely looking forward to that.
And at least I'll be looking at Skull and Bones.
I'll see if it's good. I'll play it. I've
Potentially.
been waiting for that game. I wanted that game 80 years ago, so we'll see.
You know what though? Like if it's anything like the other, what was it, the rare game, we could do like a one-off with the.
All it has to do is be as good as the Black Flag fucking pirating simulator basically was. That's all it has to do is be that good. If it's that good with multiplayer, I'll play it.
Agreed.
It's Ubisoft. I don't know. Like, it's Ubisoft, bro. Like, if like that's the thing.
Right.
When you look at a game, you got to be like, wait a minute, that looks great. Wait, who's developing it? Oh,
Ubisoft.
you know what I'm saying? So, who knows, man?
But also, like, Rise of the
But they just
Ronin
put out
is
Avatar,
coming out too.
And it's apparently a solid. So, who knows,
Yeah.
man?
Rise of the Ronin is coming out as
Yeah.
well, which also has a good thing. There's another Alone in the Dark. I don't know why they won't let that franchise go, but let's see what happens. And yeah, there's tons of games rumored that may come out next year. We'll see what happens. Dragon's Dogma is also absolutely looking.
That's another game that
great.
has to be good. Like,
Yeah.
I know it's gonna be.
I have
good.
faith
That's
it's gonna
another
be
game
good, but
that
you want it
has
to be better
good.
than what you expect, right? Like,
Because
it's
for
like-
me, I need my RPGs to start taking off. And I know Baldur's Gate is going to kind of set that wave in motion already, but I need more. Like, I need these motherfuckers to wake EA up so they can stop fucking around with BioWare and let them make their damn games. Like,
yeah.
come on, bro.
Kojima's next Amazon simulator is supposed to be coming out too, right?
Amazon's, I'm dead. Fucking, what the hell is the name of the game? Death
Death
Stranding?
Stranding.
Death Stranding.
Isn't it OD though? What the fuck is OD?
All right,
Oh,
bro.
yeah,
Look.
Oh wait,
wait.
isn't
Wait,
Matthew
wait.
McConaughey's Interstellar game coming out next year too?
I don't know.
I have no
Actually,
idea, bro.
I'm not sure.
And Foam
I'm
Stars.
not gonna lie, I don't know what's coming out next year after fucking March.
Foam Stars is coming out next year too.
Yeah, another
yeah,
game
yeah.
that has to be good because that game, that beta was actually really fucking good.
Yep.
That game has the potential to be really good for Square, but it's once again, you gotta look who's making it. Square is not very good at keeping games alive and supporting them for longer than fucking a year, so we'll see.
A lot of potential with
That's the kind of
2024.
game that has to live for at least the next 3 years. We'll see.
A lot of potential for 2024, guys. With that being said, I think we're gonna close things out, man. It's been a fantastic year, and with my fellow esteemed co-hosts, with their just contributions, are just so fantastic. Listen, if you guys are not listening to us, I feel like you guys are really messing up, man. We got a lot of good content. We got a lot of good stuff coming out. But thank you guys for tuning in. For more listeners, we are the fastest growing podcast out there. I can confirm it with our metrics, analytics. Thank you guys for tuning in. For my esteemed co-hosts, I thank you guys. It's been a great year. Happy New Year to you all. Thanks for listening. That's it from me. I'll see you
Later,
guys
y'all.
next week.